Okay, remember that bit about Black Rose wanting to get everyone together for a celebration? Well, that's the plot of Unison. Unison was one of the extra episodes of Sign I mentioned back when I went over that series, and wasn't originally part of the DVD collections. While it is part of the current Funimation releases of the series, if you got the .hack Sign Anime Legends collections, it was always absent, and you would need to find the original final DVD of Sign's individual sets on top of it. It's something that always confounded me until I started piecing together far later just how awful Bandai of America as a company was being run by its managers. But anyways, .hack Unison. It's pretty much just a fun epilogue after the epilogue, and allows for the Signcast to interact with the .hackers, as Kite's team would eventually come to be known as. The Azure Knights are dealing with the last of the databug remnants left in the system. Sora, or possibly the memory fragment AI Helba created from what was left behind. At least that's what the .hack fans that hate thinking of this OVA as non-canon have come to believe, as writing this OVA off as non-canon does a massive disservice to the overall franchise and the story that has been presented. Is back to his PKing ways. The Sign girls are all having fun, as someone familiar logs on from a school dorm. Server Knight comes to Mistral's aid, returning to his old ways of a protector of the world, having once more found his true sense of justice over the duty that corrupted his acts while part of the Crimson Knights, and also that has Crim join in, accepting and applauding the Knights' resolve, alongside finally getting his head out of his ass. At the bar, Black Rose introduces herself, annoying Mimiru as they share the same character model, leading the twin Heavyblades to argue, as is the age-old conflict of all those that end up twinned because of limited gaming character models. Man, that's sad in hindsight. Balmug, Orca, and Kite will be remembered as the Azure Knights, the Azure Sky, Sea, and Flame, respectively. But Black Rose, despite journeying with Kite from near the beginning, and accepted as his partner in most of the media, will never be given a special title. I would have suggested the Azure Root or the Azure Land to go with either her username or their propensity for Earth elemental spells. I mean, you have 6 elements. Why not go one further and title Tsukasa the Azure Void, and have Subaru take up a title that remains? The argument is halted by our formerly gender-confused Wave Master Tsukasa dropping in, inviting Subaru on a vacation trip next time she has off from school. Soon after, Elk joins the girls with the freshly reconstructed Mia, eliciting joy from Tsukasa, who recognizes Maha within the AI Blade Master, and commemorating their reunion with Tsukasa giving her more of the aromatic grass she once held and lost as Maha, which reconstitutes its tail. Mia, though, is confused, as she doesn't quite remember that this is the entire reason she has searched for aromatic grass in the first place, something that has stuck with her since her original incarnation, and she doesn't know how to express what she feels.
It's alright, Maha. You don't have to say a thing, okay?
With the Knights, Kite data drains the monster, causing Balmug and Orca to bring up how the bracelet won't be needed in the world now. Kite, however, sees there's a reason Aura entrusted it to him again, deciding to hold on to the bracelet until it is needed once more, or until there is another to pass it on to. Bear makes it to the gathering, Crim having discovered his dirty little secret as the rider he adores, as everyone prepares to head out. Where, you might ask? Why, Net Slum, where Helba has prepared the place with her denizens to party in paradise. But as everyone starts dancing, which is really weird to see, considering, yeah, it's a game world and they're not really there, Tsukasa sees Sora watching from behind a pillar, with the Wave Master drawing the player killer out. As has been mentioned before, Ryo Masaki's memories about playing the world R1 are entirely absent down the line, so it's been bitched at about being out of continuity or retconned out following. But as everyone who likes this OVA tries to point out, since Ryo never recovers, this could be his self that never went back to his real body, wandering it until the service ended. Or alternatively, his delay in returning to his body is what ended up suppressing the memory of his trauma. Hell, a third possibility is, since Skaith possessed his body at several points, parts of its program were integrated into the memory fragments which allowed it to function autonomously like this, until the system's end led it to merge with another being entirely. With this show of friendship that is all he really ever wanted, Sora joins the party. No ill will shown between him, Silver Knight, and Crim for everything that's happened. On top of the good cheer, Leo skates in and offers Helba the opportunity to make Netslum an official root town under her dominion. However, she must decline.
if this place were to become a root town.
Net Slum is a place that is everywhere, yet nowhere. It is the last place of its kind within the world, which is why I wish for it to remain this way, unchanged and uncorrupted.
You can tell from their talk that there's no longer any animosity between them. Recent acts having removed the stigma the WNC and CC Corp's policies have leveled against hackers, as once again they're shown to not be the cause behind the true ills of the world. And above them, Aura appears to watch over the festivities in person, Tsukasa waving to her. For it really is true and worth repeating. The goddess is in her digital heaven, and all is right with the world. And with this, we close Unison and this part of the franchise. And I gotta say, Unison was a great bookend to these events. Everyone happy and celebrating the victim's recovery and good health. And that's why fans hate the idea that it's non-canon. As hell, this is the best kind of fan service, letting characters we came to give a damn about interacting in ways we were never allowed to see them before, coming together for a last hurrah before the curtain closes. It's well-paced, we get the interactions we actually needed in the limited time we had, and the OVA actually gives them the time they deserve to have those interactions play out. And that time is given to each of those relevant so they aren't just popping up for a glorified cameo, as was the later .hack Returners failing when it tried to redo Unison and failed disastrously. As this is exactly what we needed at the end of the day. Closure for them all. I legitimately love Unison for doing this, and every time I revisit IMOQ and Sign, I always play this last, before moving on in turn to the next part of the story and the next era of the games. But the first era of the franchise doesn't quite end here, for Aura's time in her world as its sovereign goddess isn't without strife, as is then showcased by the novels, and an anime sequel that, well, is complete crap, which we will be talking about again soon in time. I will see you all when we do.